Hi, hello. Yeah, once again, it's hot as hell. I don't have air conditioning. I'm poodling. Deal with it. But I've decided to put my hands on today. I'm gonna be kind of like sighing a lot because I'm kind of out of breath. Um, I'm not feeling very well. Woohoo for lots of content lately. um, oh, yeah, I feel like crap. Um, because I'm kind of going through a bit of a panic attack right now. Um, I really, really, I'm scared to share this, but I really think it's important that I share this. Okay. So, to frame it, I'm working on an art project. I'm an artist of sorts that I started on my birthday with my boyfriend's daughters doing paper mache. Excuse me. We're all doing something a little different. Sorry. Mine is an egg. Um, and it's got like my handprints on the side of it, so it looks like, it's being ripped open and sorry. And on the inside, I glued together pieces of what are they called? I always forget what they're called. Damn it! What are they called? Not devil horns. The seed pods that look like that have horns. I can't remember what the frick they're called. Yeah, but they're seed pods and they look like they're horns. I just can't freaking think of what they're called. I glued pieces of those together to make a bird, and that's going to be sitting on the edge of the entrance of the egg. And the inside of the egg is going to be kind of like a nest-ish thing, so it's an egg nest thing combo. Of course, I'll show it all when it's done. And the inside of it, the like kind of nest-ish part, is I've decided is going to be made up of this. Let's see if I can grab it. This here, these. Sorry, that was my phone. Hang on. Okay. Anyways, sorry. This. Let's see if I can pick it up again. This here. It'll probably dry up and disintegrate. Whatever. Not a permanent installation. It's from a type of tree, bush. It's kind of a combination of both. Some kind of a pine thingy, I think. Sorry, it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to breathe. The egg is going to be symbolic because all of my artwork is symbolic. I can't just make an egg. Mine's like my handprints on the outside. It's going to be symbolizing like, a rebirth kind of a thing for me. Getting away from my past of growing, even using my path, whatever, to grow, to become a new, baby bird, whatever. kind of silly, but this branch from this tree bush thing, um, it's at my mom's apartment complex. I mean, I had already planned on putting like, you know, sticks and whatever to make it like a combo egg nest thing, but when I came across this particular plant, I knew I had to incorporate it. Um, it was sucky enough. It was a stressful moment as it is. We'll go into it. It's just that I was already stressed to begin with, and then landscapers were like trimming them, and the smell just hit me, and I didn't even, memory's a funny thing, I didn't even know that I remembered that smell, like, prior to 2 days ago or so. I don't even remember how long ago it was. I wouldn't have been able to tell you the smell because I thought I didn't remember it, but as soon as I smelled it, it was just like, holy shit, I know that smell. I remember that smell. Oh fuck. I know it. I know that smell. Fuck. And so just the emotions, the wave of emotions, the memories and everything just, oh fuck, hit me like a ton of bricks. And I didn't have Spirit with me at the time. It was like, oh fuck. Worst time ever to not have Spirit with me. So I decided, well shit, I've got to include this. And today I I'm gonna covertly cut some, branches off. Interestingly, I was kind of surprised at how soft the leaves or fir pine needles, I guess, because it's a pine thing, isn't it? Whatever. I was kind of surprised at how soft it is, because to my memory, to my recollection, I remember it being kind of sharp. So it must have been then that I was up against mostly like bare twigs versus the actual like pine needles, leaves, whatever. I didn't remember. I was shocked, like, oh, I don't remember them being so soft, and like, and the smell, like I said, I wouldn't be able to have described it to you, but I knew it. It's oh my god, I know that smell. I know it. And yeah, so this is the first time I have encountered this type of plant, tree, bush. I call it like tree bush thing because it's really tall and wide and has a central like thing and branch going off, but it's so super thick you can't see through it. It's like a wall, so it's more like a bush in that sense. So whatever the hell it is, I don't know. Whatever that, and the fact that it's the foliage and everything is so thick that you can't see through it, that's like a wall, is is the important part. But now it's fuck. Shit. I'm sorry. I don't think I've really ever gone into detail on this channel of my past. I've hinted at it, I think, but not anything specifically. So, like, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about childhood abuse. I'm not going to go into specific details because, A, that's none of your business, and B, I don't want to traumatize you. But the topic is going to come up right now. So, trigger warning. Okay. I want to talk about this because I kind of feel more comfortable talking to complete strangers on the internet than my own family and friends. And I think it's extremely, extremely important to talk about abuse in general, but especially childhood abuse and sexual abuse that is female and female, and age difference, and that it's not typical guy, trigger warning, guy raping a girl, particularly like from a bar. That's not typical, that other situations happen. So that's one of my testimony as to it can happen in many, 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 many different ways. This is one of the ways that is not traditional, typical. Okay. I have tried to talk about this with therapists. I've tried EMDR. I've tried it twice, actually. No, wait a minute. I tried EMDR 3 times, actually. And it sort of worked the first time with a different situation, but none of it has worked for me for this situation, unfortunately. I've just had to kind of learn to just live with it, like be okay with it. If you've been through DBT, radical acceptance, not be okay with what happened, not forgive her, but just accept that it happened and try to move on, Anyways, fuck, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm like this close from like just breaking down, so sorry. Okay. Okay, again, I don't share this story to get sympathy, to, oh, poor me, this happened to me, boo-hoo. None of that at all. It's, like I said before, I want to show that it's not just guy against girl, that other things that you wouldn't normally suspect happen, and that it's okay to talk about it, to feel safe that you can talk about it, even if it has to be strangers on the internet. Okay, fuck. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to say her name. Yeah, so when I was little, growing up, elementary school, I had this neighbor. She was actually a year younger than me. She was a grade below me, but she lived right next door, and I knew her ever since preschool, kindergarten. We went to the same daycare, we went to the same schools, we lived next to each other. It was almost impossible to not be around her. And from day one, she was a bitch. I'm sorry, but she was a bitch. I remember the very first time I met her, and I know you're going to say, oh, but you were too young to remember. Fuck that, I remember. In the daycare, I was just by myself, happy, building with blocks, and she comes straight over, kicks him down, nearly kicks me in the face. I think she was actually trying to kick me in the face, and was like, these are mine now, go away. That was our first interaction. And I was terrified of her, so I did. And I didn't like complain to an adult or anything. Just, whoa, okay, sorry, yes, here, they're yours, bye. All the adults, everyone else around me thought that we were best of buds, best friends, because we spent so much time together. No, 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 no. Thank God, luckily, I did have friends. I did have some really good friends that I could spend time with, that I could get away from her. So I'm thankful that I did actually have some good friends. But yeah, with her living right next door, I was pretty much abused every single day of my life when I lived there. Yeah, she was a she, and yeah, she was younger than me. She was a grade below me. That didn't matter. She was manipulative as hell. I don't know if I can fully explain it, but it's my mom texting me, sorry. She knew I was terrified of bees. So she would go, like, we'd be standing or whatever, and she would like point and like fake like fear. Like, oh no, there's a bee, and so I'd freak out and what? And she'd laugh. She would think it was the most funniest thing in the world. And you think like, oh well, that's just a kid prank. Not when they do it all the fucking time. Or she would get me to give her stuff, and then I would get in trouble. Like, there's these two like squirrel lawn ornaments that I got my parents to get for me from this like Home Depot type store. So I thought they were cute. She convinced me to give them to her because they were really cute, and I didn't deserve them because they were too cute. So I gave them to her, and I got in big trouble because like I begged them to give those to me, and so they told me that I had to ask for them back. I was scared as fuck to do that, but luckily she did. She gave them back. But then I think I had to. I don't remember. I traded her for something else. I think I gave her another stuffy of mine that my parents didn't know about. I don't remember exactly, but so it was a lot of it was a lot of manipulative stuff, and she also sexually abused me. I'm not going to go into the details. Just that it happened, and it can happen between two females. It can happen between a younger female and an older female. It can happen between kids. And it was always behind, in front of my house. We had this tree bush thing. We had 3 of them on the front of my house that we could stand behind, and no one would see us because it was so thick. But it was terrifying though, because we were standing right in front of my house. If we moved around too much, like I was afraid like that it would shake, or you know, someone would see our feet, or yeah. So shit happened there, and it was sexual in nature, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. That it can happen between 2 girls. That it can happen between children. I mean, yeah, she had a fucked up life. Her dad was like MIA. Her grandpa was, you know, just not really attentive. She didn't really have any good adult influence in her life. They either like literally just weren't there, or they didn't give a shit or whatever. You know, nobody's born evil. You know, she didn't just be like this on her own. But one of my therapists was like that of, well, she's a child, like, how did she learn how to do these things? Like, she didn't just figure it out on her own. It like, okay, I get that she's a child, I get that, like, but that made me feel really shitty. That made me feel guilty, like, that I can't blame her, that I can't be mad at her because she was just a child, and so she must have picked it up from somewhere. She still did shitty things to me, and yeah, she probably actually learned it from the fuck, her brother or her grandpa or whatever probably did shit to her. Probably. That doesn't excuse that she was a bitch to me. Like, I know, I'm so conflicted because she was just a child and childhood innocence and blah blah blah, you know, it's like, children don't know any better. But I was her punching bag. I was her scapegoat. I was her, you know. It still fucking sucked. And anytime that I would even have a hint of a notion of telling my parents, she of course would say, well, if you tell anyone, I'll say that it was all you. That was your idea, that you did these things to me. I'll make sure that they believe me and not you. And you'll get in trouble. And they'll send you to an orphanage. Like, she had these threats. That that I believed. That, so it was, I just went along with it and figured that that hopefully someday they would notice that I was miserable around her. I would just think in my mind, like, begging in my mind, please, Mom, can you not tell that I don't want to be with her? Can you not tell by the expression on my face? Can you not tell, like, when, like, she rings the doorbell and I see that it's her, like, I go and I run and hide, like, can you not, or I groan, like, it's not like, yay, it's oh my god, and I go and I hide in my room, or can you not see that something is wrong here? It's not that I blame them, but it's just, I was just begging silently in my head of, please notice that something is not right here. But of course they didn't notice because it was hidden too well. You know, like I said, they figured that we were just like best friends. So anyways, years later, we moved. So I got away from her, and so that was a fucking long time ago, but the damage has been done. The shit sticks with me. You know, you don't just get over that kind of shit. It kind of shapes who you are. You know, it kind of shaped my decisions later in life of the people that I dated. And, like, even now, this might be TMI, I'm trying to think how to phrase it. I'll just say that it affects the way that I interact with my boyfriend. So I don't blame her completely that my life, you know, oh, my life is shit because of her. Of course not. No. You know, I made my bed, I need to lie in it. But I think she was definitely a start of it, like the groundwork of it. You know, I had boyfriends then after that who were very abusive. That, again, I wasn't able to really see until later on, that now it's like, oh my god, that was so obvious. How could I not see? I couldn't see because I have been conditioned time and time again to be in a subservient role. and to just shut up about it, and you're gonna like it whether whether you want to or not. Like, that's been that's been my role with other people. So sorry, this is currently 25 minutes long. Um, I feel better talking now. My heart's not thumping as much. I don't feel as lightheaded. I just wanted to share that triggers can come up when you least expect them, when you don't even know that they are a trigger, that they exist, and that your past, no matter how far back it is, can very much still affect you now. And don't be ashamed of that, you know. Just because you're X amount of years old doesn't mean you weren't 10 years old. You know, it's your whole life, your whole timeline that all exists together. It's one lifetime. I know it would be nice sometimes, to erase some of that, but we can't. So we end up drinking. Yeah, in my case, I compensated with drinking for a while. That's a topic for another day, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't expecting, I didn't even know those kind of trees were on the property, and I wasn't expecting that smell to just, now it's like, oh fuck, great, that's another thing that, like, is a trigger that I now remember, that has been, my memory has been awakened, that I didn't even know that I remembered it, and wow, I do remember the smell, great, yay. So now I'm afraid to go to my mom's place because I know those tree bushes are there. I found her on Facebook once. Oh man, I wanted to message her so bad to just tell her all the things that I couldn't but wanted to as a kid. And she's a nurse now. I think she is married, possibly. I don't think she has kids. I don't remember, but she's got a fairly good life now. I wish I hadn't looked her up, but it's too tempting. Obviously I didn't message her, but I wanted to. I wanted to so bad. Because I wanted to know, like, do you understand what you did? What were you thinking when you did those things? What was going on in your mind? Like, did you think this was okay? Did you think that I was making you do things? Like, just why? Why? Like, I'm okay to forgive you now a little bit because you were a kid. I didn't know any better to speak up. You didn't know any better to not do those things. But just what was going through your head? What just why? Like, I can understand, shitty ass boyfriends who are, abusive, whatever. They're shitty guys, like, kind of stereotypical. But a young child, just why? What could have possibly been going through your mind to make you do these things day after day after day after day? Did you think it was actually right? Did you think that was like an okay thing to do? Like, just so yeah, that's, I know I'm never gonna get that answer. I know that. And I have to be okay with that. and I have to move on from that. And my biggest hurdle is I have to be okay with who I am now, with how I am now, how I think now, how I feel now, and to try to stop over analyzing things of, oh, well, I must like that because of, like, because I was conditioned to like it or whatever. Just, I need to stop doing that, of to just, okay, you like this, so you like this, just great, and move on with it. Just accept that, move on with it, stop analyzing it, because it makes me feel really, really guilty that if I like something, it's like if it has something to do with what they did, it's like I'm giving them power. It's like I'm saying that what they did was okay because I like something. I have to stop doing that, because there's no way to actually like label, well, this like is like your own original thought, whatever, but this like is because of, that's not how brains work. It's all a mismatch, blah blah blah. So I have to just be okay with who I am, what, my interests, my feelings, and everything now. Which means like just accepting that the past happened and it wasn't my fault. There's nothing that I could have done different, because I didn't know any better. I was a scared child, or that one boyfriend, like I didn't know any better, with both of them, like, I won't go into details, but whatever. Point being, I didn't do anything wrong. I was doing what I thought was best in this, in the situations at the time. So I've got to stop punishing myself now for the things then, of to just, accept who I am now and move forward. I don't know if any of this is actually interesting or helpful in any way for some of you. In some way, I hope in a sense that it isn't, because it is helpful. That means that you went through the same kind of shit, and that would suck. But if you did have to go through that, know that it's okay, in the sense of it's okay to talk, it's okay to feel the feels. Know that you are going to get triggered at some point, and you'll be okay. It'll suck for a little bit, but you'll be okay. And that really is best to try, if you can, to get it out, to talk in whatever way that is. If that's with a therapist, with a friend, on the internet, with strangers. I think that's about it. I feel a lot better. I get lightheaded and want to hyperventilate when I just look at the branches. I need to like cover them up with something so that I'm literally not looking at them too much to handle to look at them right now. I need to like glue them in, but not right now. Yeah, sorry, this is now 34 minutes long. I'm not going to edit it down, because I want it to be, it's the raw state that this is, because this is very raw emotions. I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all so much. I'm so glad that we have this capability, that we are able to come on the internet like this and be able to do this, to be able to just pour our hearts out, and total strangers will listen, and it's comforting, and it can be, anonymous, so we can feel safe, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful for all of you. All right. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Love you. Bye. Mwah.